Hey June, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you, Ranch Mama?
I am good. It's been a beautiful day on the ranch. I'll let you kick it off whenever you're ready.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. So, welcome everybody to the weekly Beef Initiative Beef Maps Spaces, where we discuss all things independent family farm, family rancher, protocols, culture, insights. And the name of this week's spaces is called Barriers to Entry, Tariffs, the US Cattlemen, and beefmaps.com. And so we are going to first kick it off with an invitation for all of you to join us at welcometobeef.com. Drop your emails in, go there right now. It takes 2 seconds. Drop your emails in. You'll be hearing from Ranch Mama Shannon here, my co host. And she'll be telling you all these great stories about the ranchers in our network, sending you exclusive discount codes, giving you access to products where you might get a free freezer, you get a free grill, this, that, and the other thing. So, welcome to beef.com is your starting point. Now, guys, we are currently in a war on beef. This is a global war on beef. We all know what's happening around the world. Globalization is taking hold stronger than ever. And our first mission in the war on beef, the first battlefield, is beef.com. We are in the running. It is Texas Slim versus McDonald's versus Cargill, the worst country, or the worst company in the world. They were named that, not by us, because of various human rights and animal rights violations across this planet. Beef.com is being safeguarded by our good friend Fred Mercado, who has been holding on for us for the past 3 months, trying to wait for us to get to this point where we can get enough support here to be able to purchase beef.com. Guys, I do not need to tell you, beef.com is the universal calling card. You can say beef anywhere in this world, from Thailand to Russia to South America to Canada, anywhere. You say beef, they know what that means, okay? Beef.com is the most important website for family ranchers that there is and there ever will be. If you don't see that, I'm very sorry to hear that, but it is. So why don't you all join us? SaveBeef.org. Drop your email. We'll start giving you updates, ways to get involved deeper. If you would like to become a partner with Texas Slim and the Beef Initiative, your entry point is SaveBeef.org. Beef.com, our plan is to maintain this through the trust of the I Am Texas Slim Foundation, using it as our guide stone for decentralization, peer-to-peer commerce, and peer-to-peer communications. You can get a small hint about what we're doing if you visit beefinitiative.com, beefmaps.com, and beefnews.org. Beef.com will be our bat signal around the world, and it is being safeguarded for us. So that's what I'll say to start this conversation off. We've had a lot of crazy news in the past week, um, a lot of positive developments, and a lot of controversial takes. The first one being the U.S. cattlemen support President Trump's tariffs. Yes, that's right. And for all you pizza pocket eaters, I am so, so, so sorry, but you're going to have to go shake your rancher's hands and buy some clean local food. You're going to have to go out there and support your neighbors and support your community. And guess what? 30 minutes outside of every single city in this beautiful country is cattle country. So, as much as all these tariffs might affect some of your some of your lifestyle and some of your habits, guys, this is a good thing, okay? We all want our communities to be healthy. That's economically healthy, that's biologically healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy. It all starts with shaking your rancher's hand, getting the most nutrient dense beef, starting with beef possible, and then expanding out from there into chicken, eggs, milk, veggies too. Just stay close to the cow. So that's how I'll start this off. Ranch Mama Shannon, what do you think about that?
I think that you always provide the best introduction. I love listening to you talk. It's such a great, different perspective. You and I tend to be on opposite ends of the spectrum sometimes because, though we didn't come from opposite backgrounds, we live opposite lives currently. And so you live 100% in the city, those sorts of things. And I live 100% in rural America, where literally my closest Walmart is 45 minutes away, at least. And by 45 minutes, I mean 45 miles away. It's not through traffic or anything like that. And when you talk about how this is going to affect prices and all these sorts of things, my world isn't going to change at all because of these tariffs. And my customers' world will not change at all because of these tariffs. Perhaps the lives of those people who are still shopping at conventional grocery stores, their prices may change dramatically because they didn't realize that literally, I think, what's the number, June? I'm sure you have it. Like 60% of our beef is imported.
I believe it's somewhere closer to 85% of our beef.
Well,
And
that's the number I wanted to say, but it makes me scared to say that crazy number.
and I think with lamb it's even worse, right? It's like
It
90,
definitely
ninety
is.
five percent A lot of the lamb is coming from Canada, which is insane considering we have the most fertile land in America, right? Some of it anyway. It used to be. Um, so
And
it's this all of this importing our cheap food and all this stuff just does got to stop, guys. I mean, come on. What where now? Let me say we had an event 2 summers ago. Last summer, I forget. Excuse me, I'm driving. If you can hear that. um,
you're good.
we had an event a couple summers ago, the Florida Beef Initiative Food Intelligence Summit, and we had Dr. Robert Kiltz on stage. And Dr. Robert Kiltz said something so simple it's complicated, right? And that is, where in the history of humanity, where has disease come from? What is the most common pathway for humans to get sick? Well, that's from traveling, right? That's through human migration, things going from one land to the next. So these tariffs, as much as they might frustrate you at the grocery store, what they will end up doing, if you're smart, if you're strategic, and if you can have a bit of pause for a second and, drop the panic and go out and shake your rancher's hand, you will become the healthiest version of yourself because all of your food is going to be coming from close by or from a trusted source, right? One thing's for darn sure, it's not going to be shipped, it's not going to be wet shipped on boats from Australia anymore, right? Thank God. I don't
Yeah.
know if any of you have tried Butcher Box before, but we love Butcher Box, by the way. We do. We love what they've done historically. They are, in a sense, they are the pioneers of shipping beef across this dang world. So good on them for that. But we don't need to be shipping beef from Australia, guys. We got ranchers right here who can ship with dry ice right to your home. Beefmaps.com is how you connect with them. And there are so many different kinds of ranchers. Some of them, me and Shannon were talking about this today. Golden Ratio, who's our featured rancher and sponsored by Dr. Ken Berry on beefmaps.com. Well, they're my favorite. But they're Shannon's, not them particularly, but the way that their website is set up. Shannon, as our marketing expert here, it's so frustrating for Shannon, and it's so fun for me because what I get to see is when I click on Golden Ratio's listing on beefmaps.com, it doesn't take me to a centralized portal where we're slanging steaks by golden ratio, right? It takes you directly to their website that they built themselves. And
Yep.
Jesse from Golden Ratio, well, he doesn't want to take any online orders. He wants you to call him. He wants you to hit him up on Telegram or send him an email. And when you go and you visit Golden Ratio's website, what you see is the unique expression of a guy who has been living out of an outhouse in Kentucky for his whole life, right? And so
Yep.
these are the connections that we're able to bring to you by meeting these producers where they are at and not doing this big onboarding process that comes later, right? That comes later. Jesse from Golden Ratio, within the first 45 days of being a featured producer, he sold, which he was a sponsored producer. Dr. Ken Berry, of course, bought his listing for him. But for $75 a month as a featured producer, um, he was able to sell over $2,000 worth of beef. Now, I don't know if you guys know how to do math like that, but if you've ever taken out an advertisement on Google, you're going to have to spend $2,000 to sell $2,000 worth of beef. This is where we're different, right? We use Texas Slim as our loudest brand at the very top. Beneath that, and he's on Epoch Times. He's on, you know, he goes on all of these amazing places where he can talk to the public about what's going on in the beef industry, and he is the entry point for you to be able to access all the other ranchers. So that's sort of how we play this game.
Yeah, and that brings us to APC had a great question about the tariffs and the barriers to entry. Because as you said, the website may be a barrier to entry, but it's actually a great introduction to his ranch and literally shaking your rancher's hand and literally talking with them. And so APC was asking about why other countries don't necessarily want American beef. And I'm not good about talking negative about other people. My philosophy is that I talk about our ranch and how we do things on our ranch. And I encourage every rancher to talk about the positives of their ranch. But the reality is that other countries do not want our beef because, number one, the use of antibiotics that we use because of our production system. Because when you put cattle into tight groups and bunches, if you think about what happens every September, flu rates in America rise dramatically and doctors' visits rise dramatically. Why is this? It's because children are being conglomerated back in schools again, and the germs are commingling and they're mixing, those sorts of things. And the same things happen when you put beef from different ranchers, when you put those cattle from different ranchers into bunches and into groups in a new environment, and we can definitely discuss the type of environments that feedlots present to cattle. Um, but when you group cattle together like that, they're going to get sick. And we care about those cattle. So we are willing. We do want to take care of them and keep them going and keep them alive. So we do offer antibiotics. I say we very loosely, but we as cattlemen do take care of those animals and offer them antibiotics to get over their cold and to get over their flu. But other countries don't like the antibiotic use that we in the United States allow. Um, some of the other issues are the use of hormones that we allow here in the United States that maybe some other countries don't prefer to allow. These hormones are helping increase growth rates and decrease the decrease the time to finish of an animal. And we can get into the animal science perspective of all those sorts of things. Um, but that's why on beef maps, all of our featured ranchers across the bottom are regenerative ranchers. None of our featured ranchers use a feedlot. Of these ranchers raise their cattle out on grass. Some of them offer grains, some of them do not. Beck Ranch is 100% grass fed. Ebersole Cattle Co. is 100% grass fed. Um, Miller Bison is 100% grass fed. So is Real Red Meats. And then some of our ranchers do offer grains because here at the Beef Initiative, we talk beef like most people talk wine. You're going to get a huge variety of taste and flavor based and the types of feed that we offer them, the types of lives that that specific animal leads, whether they're Angus, whether they're Maine Anjou, like on our ranch, whether they're Red Angus, whether they're Bison or Brahma. There are so many different breeds of cattle, and they all provide a slightly unique flavor, just like the varieties of grain, or excuse me, varieties of grapes in wine offer a unique flavor and a unique finish. The same thing is true about beef. And that's where by buying American beef directly from a rancher, you're going to get to know all of these things. And you're never going to have to worry about these tariffs because those of us living on the ranch are still doing what we do. We're still taking care of our cattle, we're still living our lives, and we're still feeding our friends and neighbors, whether they are here in Iowa or across the country in California. I think this week I shipped to 12 different states, which was so amazing to see how many friends and families that we helped feed across the nation. And we feel blessed to get to do so. And all of our ranchers on Beef Maps would love to get to know you. Whether you send a text message to Golden Ratio, whether you click on Beck Ranch and buy one of their ancestral blend bundles, whether you go to Marcy and Matt at Rattlesnake and find some of their amazing meats that they have on their ranch. That sovereignty and that independence allows you to never have to worry about the questions of antibiotics, hormones, chemicals, pesticides, mRNA vaccines, tariffs, because most people don't realize when they go to the grocery store, you're not asking any of those questions. You're not really getting any of those answers about where that beef comes from, how that beef was raised, the family, the American family that raised that beef? Or was it an Australian family? Was it a New Zealand family? Or unfortunately, was it JBS in South America, who is one of the largest importers of beef? And then once that hanging beef comes into the United States and it's cut and packaged into your steaks, it's marked product of the USA and put on your grocery store shelves. So you don't know the difference that was Amazon deforested beef as compared to regeneratively grazed beef here in the United States. I hope I answered your question, APC, the best I could.
And we actually put out an article recently on beefnews.org. It's the headline article up there right now. The title of it is Trump's Tariffs Are Just the Start. RCAF and the Beef Initiative call for action to save U.S. ranchers. I'm just going to read a little bit of this, okay? And you can go to beefnews.org. You can sign up for the mailing list there as well, and learn all about what's going on here in the United States with independent family ranchers. So, in a recent YouTube video, RCAF USA CEO Bill Bullard explained that the group's strong support for the 25% tariffs President Trump imposed on imports from Canada and Mexico. However, the group says that just that this is just the starting point, urging the Trump administration to place similar tariffs on beef imports from Australia, New Zealand, and South America. If you're wondering, by the way, where all of the chemicals, hormones, steroids, and all that stuff comes from in our American product, which is not actually American, the 85% of the imported beef, a lot of it coming from South America. Why does it come from South America? Well, we did something a little while ago, or actually a long while ago. It was about 3 years ago. Texas Slim and I recorded a podcast about it was called the Brazilian Cattle Drive. And the Brazilian Cattle Drive is a horrific thing where cows are raised and grazed in Brazil. They're shot up with whatever is legally allowed to there. And then it's passed on through the rest of South America. Maybe it stops in Guatemala. Maybe it stops in Venezuela. Maybe it stops in 4 or 5 different countries, each with their own regulations about what can be shot into a cow. And then by the time it gets to the United States, ooh, that's a nice fat cow. Nice. That's great. Well, it's been shot up with 8 different countries' legal hormones and steroids. So this is a horrifying thing and something that y'all should know about. But getting back to the article here real quick. Um, RCAP says it's also time for tariffs and tariff rate quotas on mutton and lamb meat imported from Australia and New Zealand. According to Bullard, the theory and practice of free trade, as exemplified by zero tariffs, has all but destroyed the United States commercial sheep industry and is now causing the rapid contraction of the domestic beef supply chain. This has enabled global importers to leverage down domestic producer prices, resulting in the dismantling of domestic food supply chains and the replacement of domestic production with cheap imports, driving families and independent producers out of business. According to the USDA, domestic cattle volumes are the lowest they've been in nearly 70 years, with the United States losing independent family farms at a rate of 37 to 40,000 per year. All right, this is a horrifying thing. And if you're going to rail against the tariffs, then what you're railing against is you're railing against American producers. And we're not just talking about beef producers, guys. You know, we grow cotton here too, right? You know what clothes are made of, right? You know, we don't need to be sourcing all of our goods from Chinese children slave laborers. I don't know if you realize that, but we don't have to do it. This is our opportunity to seize the means of production as independent family farmers. Now, I know that I just said some Marx sounding thing, right? But we're flipping pop culture on its head here. Okay? This is the independent, this is local communities. This is their chance to seize, meaning to just replace these imported goods with locally produced goods. This is beef, this is chicken, this is milk, this is eggs, this is clothing, this is leather, this is violin strings, this is medicine. We have yet to explore the truly medicinal effects of what's inside of the cow. Why? Well, easily because 85% of this industry is controlled by 4 multinational corporations. Why would they want to make us healthy when they can keep us sick? When they're in bed with big pharma, with big ag, and big chemical, right? So this is the opportunity that this window in time is allowing for us. Whether or not you support the Trump policies or whatever, just look at this from one lens alone. What is the most important thing for a human to be able to be healthy and wise and expressive? They need to have nutrient density going into their bodies. The best way to do that is to shake your rancher's hand. It's extremely hard to do that when there are billions and billions of advertising money being spent by these big corporations to suppress the voices of these American producers. right? So
Yes.
you could look at this thing from all the global economy. Oh, we can't do this. We can't. Stop. Just slow down. Take a step back. What are you consuming the most of in your life? It's food. It's also gas. Well, we can produce gas right here too. This is just the beginning of hyperlocalization, of true hyperlocalization, of truly peer to peer economic and communication activity. Right? This is the beginning, and we have to recognize that. This is not the end. These tariffs aren't going to be here forever. This is a positioning move, blah blah blah, right? But this is our moment
Well,
to define it, right?
I guess I personally don't care if these tariffs stay forever because we have been in the American cattle market. As you said, we have been fighting these marketing dollars for so long. APC brought up a great second question that is there a word that says no added hormone, no chemicals, no pesticides, no hormones, like organic? Well, unfortunately, even the word organic doesn't mean that that farmer doesn't use chemicals or pesticides. They just use organic approved chemicals or pesticides. And we can't even use the official term grass fed on a label because those lobbying powers have fought that so bad that every animal eats grass, every beef animal eats grass for the first 6 months of its life. So, therefore, you can put the word grass fed on any package of beef, even if it's not 100% grass fed. And that's why, like you keep saying, it is so important to know your exact rancher. And we have been manipulated by the big four packers. I think you touched on it earlier that four corporations control 85% of all beef in the United States, period. If that's not a monopoly, I think Marcy and Matt at Rattlesnake coined the term cattle cartel. They are the meat cartel. They control everything. And they have been so carefully controlling our prices, but they can manipulate those prices whenever they feel like it as well. Literally, they can shut off production and drop prices whenever they feel like it to ranchers, but yet increase prices to the consumers, the people who eat our beef, whenever they feel like it. And so, what we invite you to do is take a look at Welcome to Beef, take a look at beef maps, find those ranchers, ask them about their practices. I can tell you all of our featured ranchers have that at the bottom. All of our featured ranchers have committed to never, ever any antibiotics, chemicals, pesticides, hormones. They all are regeneratively raising their cattle in the organic ways. But most of us are so tired of that word because most organic farmers use way more chemicals than I do. And that's mind boggling to people that you can use chemicals on an organic farm. Yeah, you really can. There's about a 2-page list of chemicals that you can use if you have an organic farm. But you can't buy hay from me because my ranch doesn't have certified organic hay to feed to your organic cows. So I guess that's why we just have to take back control. And the beef initiative is doing that in all areas. We're adding lamb, we're adding bison. We obviously have beef. And we're adding chicken here in the next month. We will have processed, pasture raised, non GMO chicken that's cut up and ready for your refrigerator. But knowing that rancher is the key to everything. And we love to make it easy and simple for you. Sign up for my Crazy Ranch Mama emails at welcometobeef.com. Click on beef maps. See if there's somebody in your area. See if there's somebody that you connect with. Try some flavors of some different ranchers. But number one, get to know your rancher support that rancher, and just ignore the tariffs. We don't have to worry about those because we know the people who raise our food. And that means that if something like COVID happens again, you don't have to worry ever, ever again. We will take care of you. We will feed your family.
And if you would like access to some exclusive deals and exclusive stories directly from this wonderful woman named Ranch Mama Shannon from Kellerton, Iowa, and Ebersole Cattle Company, visit welcometobeef.com, drop your email in, and Ranch Mama will be in touch with you not long thereafter. This is also my moment to remind you all once again, we are in a war on beef. If everything that we have said tonight does not indicate that to you, well, then keep on listening because you're not hearing us hard enough. If you would like to join us in this fight, this is an independent fight. There is no army that's going to come save the cattle ranchers. This is on us as citizens to step up together and to do this thing right. Now, if you think that you are of the caliber to step in and lead with us, whether that's through partnership, whether that's through collaboration, whether that's through a simple $5 donation, guys, it's $5. If we get 10,000 people to donate $5, beef.com is ours, it's yours. And when you donate to the I Am Texas Slim Foundation through savebeef.org, where you'll click on one of two links, you'll click on donate online or donate in Bitcoin through the Geyser Fund, you will receive a tax deduction and a receipt to go along with it. So let's all come together. Let's take a little bit off of our taxes. Let's support the independent family farmers who have no support. When you go to savebeef.org, you're going to see a few disturbing statistics there. Beef.org is currently owned by the Big Four, NCBA, and the multinational corporations. They are using it as essentially a dead web page. They're taking up some of the most valuable real estate on the internet, beef.org, to post 4 pictures that lead you to basically nothing. If you think that's not by design, think again. Science.com is owned and operated in part by Bill Gates. Do you think that's science? Health.com is operated by People Magazine. Now, I don't know if you've read People Magazine over the past couple years, but I've looked at it a couple times, and you know what? I'm not interested in learning about the latest sex trick. Okay? So these are the people who are leading health, science, and beef. And now we have an opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I truly mean that. When beef.com is gone, it is gone forever. There will be no, oh, wait, oh, I would like to donate $5. The opportunity is going to be gone. So everybody, please go visit savebeef.org, donate $5 to help the U.S. Cattlemen secure the most brand name without any advertising needed website that the only website we'll ever need. All right, now I've got one more update here, one more announcement. There comes a time when people rise and say enough. They change the way we think about food, and they change the way we think about freedom. That time is near. Zero Hedge and the Beef Initiative have collaborated, and we are launching here shortly. Rancher Direct Meats to 30 million readers a month. Now that is real impact. And we must all thank Zero Hedge for seeing what so many have seen, but also so many have not acted on. Because I think the problem that we have today is with all the social media, with all this liking and sharing and commenting. People think that liking, sharing, and commenting is actual action. Well, it's not. We love the support. We love it. We don't get liked and shared nearly enough. We never go viral, but we have big, great impact, and we make real policy moves, and we help real ranchers on their land. Right? So that's what we're doing with Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge has seen it, and they've taken up the charge with us. They said, yes, June, we are coming with you. We want to lead with Texas Slim and the Beef Initiative. And so coming soon in the next couple of weeks, you can go to zerohedge.com and you can visit the Beef Initiative presented Clean Food Market, Rancher Direct. So shout out to Tyler Durden and shout out to everybody who has been putting their life on the line over there at Zero Hedge to finally come to this point where they realize something very special. They realize that the grocery store is just going to be another place where people shop. People need alternatives. They need curated goods. They need education and they need access points. And so the super special thing about what we're doing with zerohedge.com is we're not just transferring over some products from our store to theirs and they're going to charge a little bit more because, oh my gosh, it's so many people in the middle of these ranchers. Nope, because that's not ever what we're going to do. We've never, ever been a middleman. Go to beefmaps.com. That's not middleman. That is a direct connection to the rancher's website. Go ahead and look on all your favorite delivery beef places, all of your newfangled social media stars. Go ahead and check out their website. They're making $1 off of every steak. Now, with everything that we just said about multinational corporations, about the loss of family farmers in this country, what was it? 75,000 a year. Now, to go ahead and now go back to those websites and you look at them. Are they leading you directly to that rancher's domain? Eminent domain, anybody? Right? Are they? That's the question. They are not. And so what they are doing is they are standing in the middle of you and your rancher, and they're charging you to get there. Sounds like a bridge troll to me. But anyway, that's all good because we're doing things differently. And with Zero Hedge, we're doing things much differently. We are product designers. And so what you're going to be seeing as Zero Hedge is exclusively designed boxes of beef, of organs, of bones, chicken, skincare that you are not going to be able to get anywhere else. And we are designing these with a very particular set of nutritional goals in mind, whether that's for mental health, whether that's to hedge against inflation with ground beef and organs and bones, right? All along with the great instructions that Ranch Mama Shannon will give you on how to stretch that meat out, right? How not to waste. We're going to be a society that does not waste anymore. And sure, tariffs are the first start of it. But we've been here before the tariffs. We've been doing this thing before the tariffs, right? And so it's super easy. All you got to do is go to beefmaps.com, shake your rancher's hand. If you're looking for the exclusive Beef Initiative, Ranch Mama Shannon, Sabine Hazen, Dr. Kat Lindley, Dr. Ken Berry, if you're looking for boxes designed by medical professionals, by scientists who want to stand with their communities, you're going to have to do that through Zero Hedge and through our partnerships. And ranchers and producers, please visit beef.support. If you would like to get involved with Zero Hedge, guess what? You got to go through Ranch Mama Shannon. You got to shake her hand because we do things personally around here. We know people. We know them. We don't just ping them online. Hey, we want to hawk your products. It's not how this goes. No, this is human relationship building, right? So ranchers, visit beef.support, drop your email in. Ranch Mama Shannon will get in touch with you. We just spoke with an amazing ranch family today They're on the oil fields in Texas. They're grazing cattle. I mean, the story about this, I cannot wait to tell this story. And they also have a website where you have to give them a phone call in order to order, right? And so I can't wait to share all that with you. Ranchers, if you would like to get involved with beef, with Zero Hedge, with Dr. Sabine Hazen, with Dr. Kat Lindley, you're going to have to go through beefmaps.com. You're going to have to let us list your website for you. Please, ranchers, let us list your website for you. So that's all I got for that little section. We are about 45 minutes in here, Ranch Mama. I think this might be a good time to take any questions from the crowd. I see Adele. We love Adele. Adele, you're the best. Rattlesnake. Todd Wheel. We've written so much stuff about Todd Wheel, and he actually just sent over a really, really wonderful article that we'll be publishing on Beef News soon. So, hey, Todd, how are you? Homer Hoddle, APC. ABC had a bunch of great questions. So, Rattlesnake, I think I skipped right over you. Hey, guys, the beef cartel is on their way out, right? Let's do it.
I think Shooter had a question, maybe.
Yeah, what's up? Not so much of a question, but a few things. So first of all, what's up, June B and Ranch Mama? You're a new person to me, but it sounds like you're my kind of person. So thank you for what you do.
Shooter is
Yes.
an incredible supporter. We love Shooter. He also goes by Bitcoin Shooter. Check out his website. I think it's bitcoinshooter.com if I'm not mistaken. He's an incredible filmmaker, activist, or advocate, however, whichever side you prefer to be called. But yeah, go ahead, Shooter. I just wanted to give you a proper introduction.
Right on. Yeah, no worries. Well, first of all, I'm preparing a hometown meats bone-in ribeye right now. I'm about to sear the love into it. So thank you for that.
Yum.
Another thing is, it's nice to hear June talking because there was that old Texas Slim slogan of "I am Texas Slim, are you?" And June definitely is Texas Slim now. And a couple of things like, Slim was the guy that really got me into the carnivore diet, and my life has dramatically improved in every single direction possible. And then June mentioned something to me a year ago or so that always stuck with me, which is, I'm a big Bitcoin believer, and Bitcoin was always at the top of my list in terms of what people need the most. But June was telling me he thinks beef is more important because people won't even be thinking clearly enough to really, start to look into Bitcoin if they're not actually filled with nutrients. And that's something that's stuck with me too. Um, Now, in terms of the beef.com thing, I wanted to send you a donation, but the Geyser wallet isn't working. So look into that. Let me know. I'll send you some money there. And then, if you guys are promoting people to donate, another thing that you can add is, if you guys raise the funds to get that domain, like I promise that I will make a short film for you guys, and about beef in general, something that's targeted to just general people to understand why beef is important and why where you get it from is important, not only for you, but for the actual animal too. So I'm down, dude. Just throw that in there. If it helps you guys get the goal, then that's great. And if you guys do have that, like regardless, I would like to be involved because I believe in what you guys are doing. I know what it's done for me and my like immediate family too. And like the meat is just so much better when I get it from you guys or from a local rancher. Like, and everybody I ever feed it to, I don't spend my money on anything, man. I'm not very materialistic, but I do spend money on people and barbecues and meat, and I buy a lot of meat from you guys, and every time I cook it for somebody, they're always like, whoa, this is like, I've never had a steak like this before, and more people are buying from you guys. So anyway, I didn't have a question. I just wanted to come up and give some appreciation, and then also, what I do is film. That's what I can do. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm down to do that for you guys if you guys can reach this goal.
Man, we love that. We love that. And again, I mean, this just speaks to the human relationship part of what we do because, the beef thing, it's really just that sparkling object that we point to, right? Just like Bitcoin is kind of like the sparkling object that people can point to and talk about. Some of them, anyway. They do their best. But what the core of the beef initiative is about, right? I keep saying peer to peer, right? Why is that important? It's because it's about human relationships. The problem with the grocery store is that we've lost all connection to anything. Our connection to the products is in the branding. That's so sad, right? I mean, it's also a good thing. Branding is a great thing. I love branding. I'm a designer. I love brands, right? I mean, okay, the Ranch brand is the most badass thing in the world to me. I'm just like, I see these Ranch brands and I'm like, they twisted a bunch of metal together and welded it, didn't they? And they often did. And it comes out looking just so cool, right? But the problem with the grocery stores, all right, sure. We can get back to country of origin. That's fine. All right, that's fine. But can we please take it a step further? I love what Dr. Sabine Hazen said about where she sees ranching and farming going, especially with the work that she's doing at Progena Biome. She said that we together, the Beef Initiative and Dr. Sabine Hazen, and the all of the breakthroughs that are going to come from the medical side of studying the cow, it's going to make ranchers the next stock market. Big Pharma will be replaced by Texas Slim, right? This is something that is a dream, sure. It's an ideal, sure, but it's the truth. Because when we get to the core of everything that Shooter was just saying, oh, let me let you back in, Shooter. Um, when we get to the core of everything Shooter was just saying, it's about that health. It's about the what's the word that I want to use? The word that's coming to my mind is like supremacy of health, right? Beef is supreme. And when we truly start to uncover what is so supreme about the nutrition that comes from a healthy raised and grazed cow, that's when we're going to see ranchers become the next stock tickers, right? And so, but all of that is such a big idea, but how do we get there? We get there by forging connections, by building relationships with the family brands. So let's not all call for country of origin labeling, let's call for rancher of origin labeling. How about we get there together? That way we can just dispel all the questions. Nobody has to ask anymore what's in my food when you have that connection to the rancher, right? So that's what's so beautiful. I saw speaker you came back in. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to say.
No, man.
Cool.
Nothing really. I just lost connection for a second there. But yeah, man. Anyways, I'm down with it.
Yes. And yeah, so Shooter was one of those connections that we made through beef and one of those human relationships that we made. Shooter actually came out to Ginger Hill Angus. And once you see BitcoinShooter.com or you check out his YouTube, you're going to see the level. I mean, this is like extremely high quality production. The production values are really, really high. This guy comes out, he doesn't even really know us. He hits me up, he hits Texas Slim up. He's like, yo, I just love what you guys are doing so much. And I would love to be able to come out to Ginger Hill and film the entire event for you. Now, when someone says film the entire event, I don't know if y'all really can picture what that means. What that means is Shooter was out there operating like 4 different cameras, running through the rain from tent to house to tent to house, conducting interviews. I was like, Shooter, you have to get all the interviews. You have to. And Shooter was like, all right, man, let's go. And it was just like such a beautiful thing on the ride away. I don't know, I didn't ever tell you this year, but on the ride away from Ginger Hill, I was reviewing some of the footage that you had sent us or you had left with us. And man, I started crying in the car. I was like, this is so beautiful. I can't believe that this has happened, right? Like, I can't believe that this guy came out and just did all this. And look at how hard, me and Slim, I'm talking to Slim, look how hard we worked on this. And look, it's been captured. He actually did it. And so we have yet to release a lot of the footage from that. Don't worry, Shooter. We are. I have editors now. So yeah, but I just got to thank you so much for doing that and thank everybody for, coming into the fold of the Beef Initiative and for seeing this for what it truly is, right? It's about creating connections. It's about intimacy. It's about getting close to the land, getting close to the grass, getting close to the cows and the ranchers and everything that comes with that, which is nutrition, health, and wealth. So
Yeah, if I can, man, on
yeah.
the connection stuff. I mean, at Angus Hill, like I met Brooke Miller, and we spent a lot of time together since then. And I consider him like, man, like family now. So just that one, and there's many connections I've made through the Beef Initiative like that. Just really great relationships that like really enrich my life. So just him alone has been amazing. So yeah, man, I appreciate everything you guys do. I'll always be here to support you. And it wasn't all altruism, like I also wanted to go there because of Robert Malone being there, and I was making a film, and he was going to be a nice addition to my film. And so it definitely was a value for value type of thing. But I wouldn't have done all of that if I didn't believe in you guys. So anyways, wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean that's what true, friendships and relationships are made of, right? There has to be an exchange. It can't be one-sided. And so that's what you recognized in us, and that's what we saw in you, and that's what this thing is all about. With Rattlesnake, like I love when Rattlesnake comes on and they start talking and you just hear the humanity in them. I mean, Beef Cartel, come on, that is like that's something from the ranch. Come on. If y'all have never heard, if you haven't watched our short film about Todd Wheel and Todd Wheel's cattle out there in the southern Ozarks and Prairie Grove, Arkansas, you can check that out on our YouTube channel. I believe it's on the Beef Initiative YouTube channel. If it's not there, we'll get it up there. If it's not there, it's on the I Am Texas Slim YouTube channel. Dig a little bit, you'll find it. But we'll be releasing all of that again soon. Todd also just has a voice that the patience in it, the steadiness of it, he comes from a land where you don't hear people like that very often. Especially in pop culture, you don't hear people from the southern Ozarks in pop culture, right? So when you hear these people and you get to know them, and you can through beefmaps.com, you can visit Todd. He's on there, of course. Um, you get to hear, you get to really see what humanity's like. And me personally, coming from the city, coming from the ghetto, coming from Philadelphia and Trent, New Jersey, and everywhere in between, that's something that people that come from those places, they don't know. And I didn't know. I grew up in the city as well, and I thought, shit, South is the South. I don't know. It's like freaking, I don't know. It's the South, man. They're different down there. Turns out they are different down there. They're really nice. And they're really sweet people. And everything that, we hear in the cities about rural America is dead wrong. Let me tell you, I traveled 64 days across the United States, barely touching a highway system. I shook hands with some burly guys, with some slow talkers, with some twang and some slang. And guess what? Never, ever did I hear anyone make a snide remark about anybody from the city or anything going on. They're just living their lives, right? And so this is what this beefmaps.com, the Beef Initiative, savebeef.org, these human connections that we're talking about, this is not just about saving beef. This is about saving our country. 80% of the US population lives in cities. If you think that's something to be ignored, you're wrong. And people like me are people who can come up out of those places and advocate for Americans, for America first, right? Gosh, America first. Could you imagine me saying that like 5 years ago? I was an anti-Trumper, by the way, right? Until I learned some things, until I got reintroduced to the cow and to rural America, and I started seeing things a little bit differently. I'm not a fan of any politician, but I'm not that guy anymore because of Texas Slim and because of Ranch Mama Shannon and Rattlesnake and Todd Wheel, right? And Bitcoin Shooter and Ginger Hill Angus. Little did I know, 3 hours south of one of the worst, let's just call it, it's the worst ghetto in the world. North Philly, Kensington, Philadelphia, look it up. You're going to see hell on earth. Really. Nightmares. The things nightmares are made of. Really. 3 hours south is Dr. Brooke Miller's Ginger Hill Angus. Thank you, Texas Slim, for showing me the way. Thank you, all the America Ranchers, for just being who you are and for sticking by your guns and for being stubborn and for not taking shit. We appreciate you so much. And, y'all are the ones who are hanging on here. If you're still ranching today, you're one of the last ones left. And so me and Bitcoin Shooter and Texas Slim and everybody here at the Beef Initiative, we're here for you. And Ranch Mama Shannon, that's pretty much all I got. If you want to add anything else.
No, thank you, June. You always say it so eloquently. Um, all I'll say is just check out Beef Maps. Just get to know some of us, and you don't have to worry about the barriers to entry in selling your beef. We can help you walk through that process and learn how to do it if you're a rancher. And if you're a beef eater, we'd love to help you find your favorite rancher. Like Bitcoin Shooter has learned some of his favorite ranchers that have become true family friends because that's what all of us want is that connection to each other. And we'd love to help you do that with beefmaps.com.
100%. 100%. So, you know, next time you see someone out there that's not a rancher, that's like a company, and they're slanging beef and they're promoting decentralization and sovereignty, and they're saying all the buzzwords that everybody loves to hear. Next time you see that person out there, there's a lot of them out there, you ask them one simple question. Ask them how they feel if a consumer skips them and goes straight to the rancher's website to buy their beef. Just ask them that question. Ask them how that affects their bottom line. Because you know how it affects our bottom line? It helps it. Because we're going to help them build out that ranch. And that's the difference. So, my name is Ruffshot June. I go by RS. I go by Ruffshot. I go by June. I introduce myself as June like the month. I'm joined by my co-host, Ranch Mama Shannon from Ebersole Cattle Company. On behalf of Texas Slim and the Beef Initiative and the I Am Texas Slim Foundation and Brianna Sagdal, we thank you all so much for being here. Go ahead and drop your emails at welcometobeef.com. Join us in the fight to save beef.com. And we will check you out next week. Oh, by the way, Thursday, tomorrow, we will have another episode of the beefnews.org podcast going up. I forget which one I loaded up. It might be the spaces from a couple weeks back, but we're always doing something out there in the world. Somebody from the Beef Initiative is. And that'll be coming out there in the morning, probably around 8 a.m. Eastern. So stay tuned for that. If you're on Podcasting 2.0, you can listen on Fountain and you can exchange value for value with us. I'll say something that confused the heck out of somebody last time, but I'll say it again. What's so beautiful about Bitcoin and about Podcasting 2.0 is that you can send us as little as one Satoshi. And for those of you who don't know about Bitcoin, oh, it's such a cool thing. So think about it like this. A Satoshi is like a cent, right? It's like 1 unit of a Bitcoin. Okay? There's 100 million Satoshis in a Bitcoin. Now, if you do the math, 1 Satoshi is basically equal to like 1 grain of rice. So if you think about it like that, one, it's super funny to like buy a single grain of rice. I hope it gets really big in the pot. But what's so fun about that is, guys, you could just tip us a single grain of rice and it will go to do great things for us, right? So go ahead and join us on Podcasting 2.0 on Fountain, beefnews.org. My name is Ruffshot June. Thank you so much, Ranch Mama Shannon, Shooter, Rattlesnake, Todd Wheel, everybody who joined us tonight. We'll see y'all next week. Take care.